Hi, I'm Hunter from Screenfeed, and today we're going to take a look at getting your local sports scores on a screen. You'll need a few things for this project, and the first thing is a screen. It can be a regular TV, a smart TV, a projector, just some way to display your digital content. The other thing you'll need is a player. Now, I'm going to be using an Amazon digital signage stick. You could use an Amazon Fire Stick or another digital signage player and software. And the last thing that we'll need is Sports Central from Screenfeed. From Screenfeed.com, choose Browse Apps at the top. Next, type in Sports or Sports Central and choose Sports Central from the list below. Scroll down and choose either Subscribe Now to subscribe directly to get your sports scores or try it out for a trial. Either way, you can follow along with the entirety of this video. It does require you to have a Screenfeed account, even if you have a trial. Once you have Sports Central added, you can see from your dashboard the option for Configure Feeds. You can also select that at the very top under the My Account banner. From here, scroll or search for Sports or Sports Central. Under Sports Central, click Create Feed. Next, choose your delivery method as HTML. There are other delivery methods available. HTML is the method we will use today. Select your shape. In my case, the TV behind me, which I'll be showing sports on, is landscape or 16:9. If you have a portrait or up and down 9:16 screen, you can select that here, and there are also options for custom sizes like sidebar, footer, and 4:3, which can fit alongside other content in specific content management softwares that allow you to do something called zoning. Next, we'll select which leagues we want to include. I'm going to just choose Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL, and NHL, but we also have options for PGA, NCAA football Division I AA, NCAA basketball, Bundesliga, La Liga, MLS, Premier League, and World Cup. Please note that when it comes to PGA, to all of these leagues, these are men's only leagues, especially these college leagues. If we scroll down even further, now we get to pick how we want the team selected. This video is about having your teams show by location. So we can say I want my teams to be shown by a specific location. In this case, I'm in Minnesota. I'm going to put in Minnesota zip code, and here we go. We've got the Minnesota teams. If you want, you can also put in city name, like Houston, for example, and the teams will match that information. Now, if we scroll down even further, we can have the option to pick our specific teams as well. So it is very flexible, or if I just want to see what's interesting nationally for each one of these leagues, I can select that option. So we're going to scroll even further down, and here we have the option for different views. Calendar view to show upcoming schedules, a game view to show us what's happening in the game right now, a scoreboard, who's winning and who's losing on the macro side. So of all the games that happened today, who's won and who's lost. I can choose standings, which show how well my team is doing, and then also team profile, which is kind of fun, shows some insight into each one of my teams and how the fan base is thinking about them. We also offer in these views things like medal count, World Cup bracket, medal count before the Olympics, and then March Madness. We will choose the minimalist style. The nice part about the minimalist style is that you can customize the style quite a bit. I can choose a transparent background if I need to, adjust fonts, hide and show different design elements, and I can also adjust the text, so things like accent colors, label colors, and I can see each one of those in each different view in turn by choosing from this drop-down list underneath the preview. If I scroll down even further, I can set my language. This has got a few different languages options for me to choose from. And I can also select how long I want each one of the views to be displayed. The default is 10 seconds. I'm going to name this feed Minnesota Local Sports and click Create Feed. I'm given a URL. This URL ends in HTML because that's the delivery method we're using. And if I copy this URL, I can paste it. Oops. If I copy this URL, I can paste it into my web browser and preview what it looks like. So these should be Minnesota teams. So there we go, Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, if I wanted to, I can also say I want this this feed to be for a different location. I don't have to go back here to feeds and reconfigure. All I have to do is pass what's called a parameter in the URL string. So as you're looking at the very top of my screen, I can put after the HTML question mark location equals, and here I can enter the zip code. Let's do Hollywood, Beverly Hills 90210. Oops. Or I can do something like the city name, like Oklahoma City, for example. I just see that right there. But if I hit enter, now what it will do is show me the LA location, those teams that are interesting in that location. So either through the initial configuration or by passing a parameter, I can get my teams of local interest to me. Now that we've got our feed set up, let's take it and get it set up in our Amazon digital signage stick. Let's go through the process of getting that stick set up and show you how we use that along with the software, chosen software, Yodeck, to pull this information and put it on our screen. All right, here we've got our Amazon signage devices. We've got two of them, and we're only going to use one for this video, but I wanted to show you that there are multiple options when it comes to Amazon signage sticks. The first one is a Fire TV. You could just buy this from your local big box store or from Amazon directly, and this is what, as a consumer, you'd use to watch content, stream movies and stuff like that. But this can work as a signage device just as easily as their dedicated signage stick, which is this one. The only difference is this player has the ability to connect to a dedicated signage platform that allows you to push your software to it a little bit easier than this one. But either way, they're both set up the same way. You can get power from a USB if your television has a decent power output. Some TVs work where you can plug this end into the TV and this end into the player. But the tried and true method is using the plug that comes with both players, plugging it in, and then plugging the player power into the player. There we go. Now, I'm not going to show you back behind my TV, but this is an HDMI. It plugs directly into the TV. If you need a little room for your hands to get it plugged in, they do provide this extender, so you could take this and plug it in, and then you have a bit of a cable to go to a little flexibility, so you can get around those corners to plug it in to the HDMI input on the screen. So this is what you'll see when your player is plugged into the TV. Use the remote that comes with the player to press the play pause button to start, and you're going to choose your language, connect it to the internet. The player will download its most recent OS, and once it does that, it will present you with a pairing code. From there, go to console.signage.amazon.com, and you can take that pairing code and connect the player with a CMS provider. In this case, we're going to use Yodeck, but there are quite a few, as you can see from that list. Once you've added it, you'll see that as an option in the Amazon platform. If you go to yodeck.com or your CMS provider, log in and go to screens, you can add that screen. And in this case, I'm going to choose Fire OS Player and click Add. Now what's going to happen is in the background, that player is going to be downloading the Yodeck software. Once it's downloaded, you'll see a registration code. This might restart the player first, but then it will present a registration code that you can take and connect it fully so that you can push content to the screen from the CMS, from Yodeck. So once we take that code, in this case it's that 78372, put it in here in yodeck.com and click Next, we can name the screen, and then we can also select the type of content you want to show on your screen. You can always go back and change this later. So I'm just going to select a simple playlist here and hit OK and done. But you could just pick a specific piece of media. That's fine. You'll always change it later. Next, you can go to Media on the left in Yodeck, choose Web Pages, and you can see I've added quite a few. But at the very bottom, there's an option to add content. I've got a cookie banner in the way. I got to close that out first. Here we go. So you can see that down on the left, I can add content. And here you can see there's different options. What I'm going to choose is Web Pages. Paste in that URL from Screenfeed, and I can rename it. I'm going to name it Minnesota Sports. And I'm going to select HTTPS, and I'm going to proceed. Now I can do a lot of configuration options here, including adjusting the duration, setting a zoom, but I'm just going to click Save. So now that piece of content is available for me to publish to the screen. If I select the screen, going back to screens, I can choose a specific piece of media. So instead of playlist, I'm going to choose media. And here I'm going to select my Minnesota Sports, hit continue and OK. And now all I have to do is save. And what will happen is it will push that local sports scores to my screen directly. Now you can put it in a playlist where you have different things showing on at different times, durations. But for this example, I'm just pushing those sports scores directly to the screen. So there it is, my local scores showing on a screen. If you're interested in the Amazon digital signage stick, you can buy them directly from Amazon.com. With Yodeck, you can try it out. Go to Yodeck.com. Yodeck software works on a lot of different types of players, including some system-on-chip players. So some smart TVs, for example. Beyond that, we have videos about our different products that are coming out, as well as videos that talk about how to create your own custom content using our Connect platform. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.